Call this meeting order. Let's all stand for the pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All righty, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Nikki Martin.
Present.
Nikki Bender.
Here.
Joy Sellers.
Here.
Kathy Aldenseed.
Here.
Patrick Sellers.
Here.
Thank you.
All righty. First of all, I'd like to welcome the veterans tonight for coming. Thank you guys for coming. First item on the agenda is the approval of minutes of the June 16, 2014 Town Board regular meeting. I need a motion and a second before we have
I
discussion.
move for approval. I second.
Motion by Bender, second by Aldenseed. All righty.
Okay, we just need to post
I
those.
want to give them a chance to look at it.
You've all read it?
Okay. Okay, we'll take a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All righty. Next item on the agenda is approval of resolution 2014 R-05 contract with Faith Center Food Pantry. I need a motion in a second before we can have discussion.
You have that resolution? Yes, you do.
Yes.
Oh, maybe you don't.
I don't.
You don't have it?
No. I'll get
Neither
you.
do I. Is it the same as last time?
No,
It's thicker.
it's, no,
It's all
it's
these
different.
pages.
Oh, okay, so we can
Yeah.
file this too, huh?
Circular file.
That was the one from before, you changed it. Oh, really?
Nikki? Thank you. Who else needs it?
I do.
Put it on your desk with the minutes and stuff that I put on your desk.
Here it is, right there. I looked through all these pages. Thank you. Sure.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. I need a motion and a second. Is that where we are?
Should we open up for discussion?
Anybody make a motion?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I make a motion that we look at the, what is it? Oh, I forgot the, let me see. Is it?
Contract with Faith.
Yes, the
Resolution.
contract with Faith Center, the 2014-R-05.
Okay.
Couldn't find it.
We just need a
We
second.
need a second open for discussion.
Second.
All righty. Second by Aldenseed.
Okay,
All right.
we don't have 2014-R-05, should we just put it on top?
Yes. We're gonna open.
And this is for food and household items?
Yes.
So
Or
their
food.
voucher,
Mhm.
they could either purchase food or purchase household items.
And personal items, it also says too, if you see.
Personal items and shampoo and stuff.
Yep.
Who's gonna answer the questions, is she?
Yes.
Okay, I have questions then.
Could you maybe come forward here and state your name and the organization
My
that you
name
represent?
is Bindi
Might wanna
Willoughby.
look at it.
Indy
Yeah.
what?
Bindi Willoughby.
Bindi.
Yeah, E-I-N-D-Y.
Okay.
Last name is L-I-L-L-G-E.
Logie.
Okay, thank you.
And I am the director for Faith Center's Food Pantry, Joseph's Pantry. We have been, just about a year and a half now. April was a year. We have, the fact sheet lays it out, it gives you a pretty easy to follow along. We are serving between 60 and 75 families a week. We have had as many as 92 in one time, which was phenomenal. What questions do you have, Nikki?
Let's see. How will you know when they've reached what their voucher, $10 or $20? Do you pre-package yours, or do they come through a line and pick out what they want?
Well, I think what we're going to do, at least in the beginning, until we get all the bugs worked out of this, is if they come in with a $20 voucher, we will take them through and they can pick out, if they need toilet paper that week, up to the $20. If we see that that's not working efficiently, if they just keep navigating towards just strictly meat and not taking anything else, then maybe we'll consider packaging things,
But how are you gonna know the price of that article, like a can of tomatoes and a roll
Because
of toilet paper?
we will go to Save-A-Lot we go to Save-A-Lot quite a bit. So we know what the prices are each week. A can of corn is 65 cents, string beans is 75 cents, mixed fruit is 75 cents. So every week we will have, an idea of how much. A package of toilet paper, is $1.99 for 4 rolls. So we will have X amount in this box, X amount in this box. They just aren't gonna be able to come in and say, well, I want this and I want that. It will be pre-designated,
Okay,
toilet
so
paper,
do you
toothbrushes.
carry all the laundry products, toilet tissues, hygiene, everything that they can get? Because that's the kind of things they need with their voucher.
Those are the kinds of things that they need, and those things will be provided. That's what part of this money is going to go for. So we have an ample supply for that, because I have, we were blessed with, I have 1,000 3-ounce bottles of aftershave in my car right now. So now we,
Don't leave them in there too long.
well, if one should explode, it'll make my car smell good, considering I left my moonroof open last night.
Okay, will we get an itemized bill for each client every month then?
If you set it up that way, if that's how you choose to have it, we can do that. Or if you want one lump sum, it's however you're going to choose to do that part of it.
You belong to the food bank, right?
Mhm.
How are you gonna separate your food from the food bank food?
What do you mean, how will we separate the food?
You cannot sell the food bank stuff.
We're not selling the food bank stuff. This isn't
How do you
selling.
how are you gonna separate your groceries?
The township things will be stored in a different area from what the food bank is. Township people will come on separate hours. Township will be from like 2 to 3, 3:30 on Tuesdays. Our pantry is from 4 to 6. Township will have their own designated area set up. We have rooms. Have you ever been to our pantry?
No.
Okay. When you come down, you'll see that we have adequate space to set up a specific area just for township. And we have the other area set up for our regular clients that come through. So that won't be an issue. We'll be able to differentiate who gets what and where it goes.
Have you spoke with the food bank that you're doing this?
No, there's no need to. Why would we have to speak with them?
I think I would. I mean, if I were doing it, I would speak with the food bank to make sure that they understand that it is completely separate,
Mm-hmm.
that it's a separate thing. Because you absolutely cannot mix the groceries.
I understand that.
Yeah, I mean,
And I can speak with Yvette if that, I can give her a call tomorrow. Actually, I'll see her Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
So we can
I think I would
discuss
clear
those
that with
things
them.
then.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have any other questions?
Yes, as far as the food bank goes, then our township clients free to come in to get food bank food also?
If they would like, because their township will be different and set aside from that of
So
what our
there'll be
food bank.
different items in the township section than is in the food bank section?
Well, no, we do the best that we can, as far as what we have up there. Right now, we're still self-sufficient. We don't have, a continuous supply of donations coming in, financial things like that. So 1 week we have shampoo, 1 week we don't. 1 week we have meat, 1 week we don't. So, until we're on more stable ground. But yes, if they feel that they need to come in and utilize it, we don't turn anybody away. It doesn't,
And township hours are different than food
Yes.
bank hours.
Only
Township
because I don't
days,
want.
are the days
I don't,
different?
no, it'll be
Okay.
the same day,
Okay.
just because I don't have enough volunteers, so
Oh.
it'll have to be the same day. I don't want there to be any division among our clients that already utilize the pantry, to say, well, why are you getting that, but
Yeah.
I don't get that?
Yeah.
Well, just so there isn't any division, there isn't any hard feelings,
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
You have the food pantry, and then the township. if a township person comes in like on the hours,
Mhm.
they can come back at another time and get food from the food pantry, can't they?
They would have to come through the food pantry with what we require for ID, which is a picture ID, a current piece of mail.
Okay.
So
So that
it would be a
change, but they
completely
can't come do
separate.
both.
No, they can, if they come through with their vouchers earlier, you know, and they want to come back for regular pantry hours, you know,
Yeah,
they
okay.
can do that if they like. Like I said, we don't turn anybody away unless you absolutely do not comply with the rules and have for some reason caused havoc down there. You know, we don't turn anybody away based on need or not need. I've already carried a box of groceries out to a lady's BMW. So we don't, there's no discrimination, you know, if you feel, and you know, and for all I know, that might have been a friend's car, you know, we can't place those
can't just say-
judgments.
Right.
We have no idea.
Mhm.
You know, she might have been borrowing that. I would have liked to borrow it for the day.
Me too.
So, you know, it's an early, it's an early thing. There's a lot of bugs and things to be worked out, but it most certainly will be, you know,
We're trying.
it'll be a good thing.
How many days will it be open for township?
Just one. We're only open every Tuesday.
That's for both.
That's for both, yeah. And that is just because of my volunteers. I only have volunteers that can commit to every Tuesday.
Well, we can help you out with that because we have community work and training, and we need people to suffice their hours, so we can
Well,
help with that as
then
well.
we could probably work something out that we could have another day that would be open.
Okay.
Those will be things, you know, as we come down a little bit further, we'll figure that out.
Okay.
Because right now it is kind of short that they would be only able to come Tuesdays 2 to 3 or 3:30, you know, because our pantry starts at 4 and there's a lot of preparation work that goes on to get things ready for the pantry, you know that, before you get ready to up and run.
So if a township person doesn't come in between that 3 and 3:30,
They're not gonna be able to use their vouchers.
okay, that's what I wanted to
Yeah,
know.
they won't be able to use their vouchers from the 4 to 6 o'clock,
Okay.
Because that's the food bank.
because that's the regular food bank time. And like I said, I don't want there to be any division. You know, their feelings get hurt pretty easy. You know, they're very aware of their surroundings and who has what and who doesn't. So we don't want to encourage anything like that. We have a very good system in our pantry. We have personal shoppers that go through with them. You know, that is one thing that sets us apart from other pantries. We work on building relationships with them, so we know, matter of fact, we had a family, she was very pregnant, very much pregnant. After all the family was told, they made the first stop was down to the pantry to show us pictures of the baby. So we're building relationships in the community, and we want to make sure that we continue to do that. So funding things like this, you know, that only increases that.
Well, maybe we should, would you like?
I
give me your
think we
thoughts.
should lay it over till the next meeting, just until she checks with the food bank,
Okay.
Everyone
to
agree?
make sure there are no problems with the food bank,
Okay,
because I know they're very, very fussy.
okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I've
we'll
worked
we'll
with
lay it
them for
over to the
years.
next meeting.
Do I need a motion to lay over?
Yes, the motion to lay over.
Is that for you, Bender?
Yes.
Okay. And
Need a
second,
second?
Second.
Alden C?
Oh, just do voice vote.
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Quick question.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
When we decide, or the township decides here in conjunction with the client, how much of their grant is going to be used for the food voucher?
Yes, the client lets us know how much they want to use towards food. Thank you so very much.
You are
Thank
very
you.
much welcome. My cards are in there if anybody has any questions.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Next item on the agenda is the approval of claims and demands and bills payable. I need a motion and a second before we have discussion.
So moved.
Motion by Bender, second by Sellers. All righty. floor is now
And of
open.
course, I have a lot of questions.
That's okay. That's what we're here for.
I'm looking, I think I might have asked this question before, but I don't remember you telling us. On the bottom of page 3, that landlord,
Yes.
I see there's 2 people for the month of July. Are we checking to see if these are rooming houses, if they're registered, or
Well, those-
how many people are living in 2
Those,
bedrooms?
those two are a married couple. The two at the
Oh,
bottom, that's a married couple.
Yeah,
okay.
remember, I think you did ask that one.
I did
and
ask
they
that
said
one, yeah.
they were married, and we was like, wow.
And we're still buying the same amount of transit tickets as we've always bought? We haven't cut down at all on that?
No. No. We're gonna try and see if we can't get that reduced before the next round. We're gonna work hard to get that reduced if we can.
Are they going to jobs, or where are they going?
Yes, they're going for jobs and for things that we are sending them
Oh,
to.
sending them, okay.
So,
The top of page 4,
yes,
822 East Wyandotte.
yes.
What, is that a husband and wife too, if there's 2 in that household getting
No,
help?
what happened,
They're both for July.
the second one should be June, not July. The client was approved for a partial grant in June and for a full grant in July.
Okay. I have a question about the electric bill for here too.
Yes, ma'am.
Which one? It's a whole bunch of them.
No, it's electric bill,
Oh,
$285.
ComEd?
Isn't that really, isn't that an awfully big bill?
It could be air conditioning.
Oh, that could be.
Yeah.
I never thought about that,
Oh,
yeah.
I ain't even turned my head.
That could be. Well, no, because you're traveling, you don't need it, honey.
You're never home.
You're on the road all
You're
the
never
time.
home.
You don't need it. You're on the road all the time.
Okay,
Use
Nick. Yeah, it's a lot coming in.
We'd be glad to come with you if you have a chauffeur.
Okay, I have another one.
Yes.
It's on page 3, it's up a little from the others. It's at 1146 Southwest. There's
Yes.
2 of them there for July too.
Yes. Okay. And the 2 clients live there. Both had 8 pending for May and June, and both are eligible for July. That's why it looks like that.
Is it husband and wife, or is it just?
No, these are 2
just-
clients, and
Are they the only 2
Sharing-
people living in the
Mhm.
household?
yep,
Where's that at?
1146 Southwest Avenue.
Oh, they got another one down at the bottom too, right? Is that what you're looking at?
Which page are you on?
The same page,
Mhm.
3-5, they've got one 1146.
Yes.
Got 2 of,
Mm-hmm.
oh, they got May, wow, they
Yeah.
got May, June, July?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
If a client that we have, if they did something and they are facing termination, while they're facing termination, during that time, they're not receiving. If we rescind that termination, we have to go back, and that's the 8 pending, and we pay for the months that we missed if we rescind the termination.
Oh,
So it's kind of like retroactive once they
Yes.
put it together? Okay.
Which, I really don't do a lot of rescinding terminations, but sometimes you have to.
Patrick, on page 2, down at the bottom,
Mhm.
is that real estate tax being paid by a homeowner?
Yes, that's coming out of their grant.
Okay.
I have a question with the housing authority, the
Yes.
601,
What page are you on?
4 or 5, they've
Okay.
got all these Julys,
Yeah.
which, 601 North Walnut from the Housing Authority, I don't know.
That's Hosmer.
Oh, they,
Hosmer
oh,
Apartments.
okay, it's
Hosmer.
different,
Yeah.
it's different apartments.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
Hosmer.
okay, okay. It just says 601 North Walnut.
Right, they have
Okay,
different
now I
apartment
see that.
numbers.
Okay. Okay.
Apartment 307 had to pay more for a key than they pay for rent.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
And what's the difference? We have one who had a new key made for $30,
Yeah.
and then we had one who was, where's it at?
Lockout.
A lockout that was $45.
We have clients that have
Lockout
a,
was 50.
that have a credit, so they don't pay any rent at all. So they'll have credit on their rent, on their utilities, so they're not paying anything at all. So their entire grant is going towards where they want to go towards.
And with the larger amount, is that maybe on weekends or evenings when somebody has to be called in, like a
Yes.
maintenance person?
Yeah.
Okay.
Any more questions? Okay.
Do we have any idea of how many of the transit tickets we used last year? Is it, I mean, I'm
We-
just curious.
I can find out how many we used. I can definitely
Yeah,
find out.
that, you know, if you could have it for next time, that would be great.
Because I know we use a lot of them.
Do you limit how many of them they can have in a month?
No, as long as they're paying for them out of their grant.
It's all out of their grant?
Yep. As soon as, if we have you do something, go somewhere, we pay for it. But if you come to us and say, well, I need transit tickets to go to wherever. If we didn't,
Jenny's.
then you have to
Yeah.
pay for it out of your grant.
Mm.
It's charged against the grant, which.
So they could come in if they allowed their grant to purchase 6 or 7 of them?
Mhm.
Yeah, okay.
Any more questions? Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Bender.
Aye.
Aldenson.
Aye.
Sellers.
Aye.
Martin.
Aye.
Sellers.
Aye.
Okay, could y'all please sign this?
Oh, I just had one other question though,
Mhm.
for Cindy. Under Compass Computer, that 985, was that just more than usual for the month? Or is that
He
a
was in
standard
more.
amount?
No, that was an unusual. He was in
Unusual
more.
number?
Mhm.
Did you have something specific that he was working on that came up?
Yes, we had some issues with one of the systems.
Okay.
Righty, next on the agenda is the supervisor report, so I guess I'm up. Should be real quick. The Illinois Fund. All accounts have been changed from Illinois Fund to US Bank. Our first month interest alone was $83.12. Now with Illinois Fund, our monthly interest was $19.81.
Oh, well, we did good.
So, at the end of the year, we should have about $997.44,
Mm.
as opposed to $237.81. So we are earning about $759 more
Oh,
per
good.
year on interest.
Good.
So that's good. Next, our client orientation going great. We are telling clients their expectations. We're also telling them of the importance of keeping their voucher and not letting anyone use them or losing their vouchers, because we had a gentleman who used one of our vouchers and now he's in jail with a $30,000 bond.
Oh, wow.
And we are making sure that we are prosecuting to the fullest extent of the law.
What kind of a voucher was it?
It was a food voucher. It was in the paper. I have a printout of it if anyone would like to read it. Our community work and training program, the Iron program, we're looking and we found a way now to have more clients working more days per week.
Oh, good.
The goal is to have clients working every day of the week.
Oh, good.
We have projects that we're getting lined up to achieve that goal. So I'm very excited about that. Let's see. That's it for supervisor report. It's now assessor's report, please.
I don't have any new news. We're doing 2014 work, and that's about it.
Okay. Next on the agenda is the trustees report. Trustees.
Oh, just a question.
Mike, everything's over here.
Have we dealt with our tax issue yet, or are we still paying taxes on this building? Or has that been resolved, that we're government and not-for-profit?
I think that would be a question for our attorney. I know we had to pay the first wave. The second wave will be coming in September, I'm thinking.
But why did we have to pay 2013?
Because they're already a year behind, aren't they?
Well, we would have paid 2012, but we shouldn't be paying
It's not
2013.
declared exempt yet.
We're not exempt yet?
The application was rejected by the Department of Revenue because the BACSC filed their own. They filed theirs to begin with and then sent it to us. And we filed one, and the Department of Revenue returned it saying it has to be on the same piece of paper. The BAC can't file their own. And since they had two separate ones, it was, they would not act on it, and they returned it to us. So we have to refile it on one piece of paper with both organizations.
Okay, so when did we get a return?
I'm not sure yet. I can't tell you the exact date.
Okay, have we refiled it together now?
Attorney Kuhn is working on a joint one to write, he's the attorney for the BAC, to write up both. He has not yet submitted it to me.
Now, does that mean then that we will get those taxes back?
Yeah,
This will
they
be
told us it'll be
retro-
refunded as soon as the application's granted.
Okay,
I talked to a staff member down in Springfield about it.
okay.
And the,
But meanwhile, we do have to pay
we have
our
to pay it in the
share.
meantime, and then it'll be refunded in full.
And that refund will go back to the VACSC
To
because they
begin, right,
paid
because
the
they paid the
first,
first
the
installment.
first installment.
Okay, and the second's not due yet, so.
Until the first, usually the first week of
September.
September, yeah.
Trustees? Okay. Next item on the agenda is public comments. Any public comments? No? Okay. Other? No? Next item on the agenda, and this is going to be a mouthful, is executive session to discuss A, the purchase or lease of real property for the use of the public body, including meetings held for the purpose of discussing whether a particular parcel should be acquired as authorized by 5 ILCS 120/2C5, and B, litigation when an action against affecting on or behalf of the particular public body has been filed and is pending before a court or administrative tribunal as authorized by 5 ILCS 120/2C11. All right. I need a motion
To go into
to go to executive session. A
I'll
motion
make
and
a
second.
motion to go into executive session on,
For the reasons stated.
for the thank you, for the reasons stated. I was going to read it.
I second.
Motion by Sally, second by Alderson. Okay, let's go vote, right?
Yeah, roll call vote. Oh,
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
Bender.
Aye.
Altensee. Aye. Sellers.
Aye.
Martin. Aye. Sellers.
Aye. Okay. All righty. We are now out of executive session, and the time is
6:49.
6:49 p.m. Go back to the next item on the agenda. Okay.
Right.
The next item on the agenda is approval of termination of intergovernmental agreement with the Stevenson County Veterans Assistance Commission as to co-occupancy of 201 East Exchange Street in Freeport, Illinois building. I need a motion and a second.
You need a motion
Mhm.
to
Open up for discussion, hold for approval.
to get it on the table? I'll
Mhm.
make a motion.
I second.
Motion by Sellers, second by Alderson.
You want me to do the explanation? for
Yes,
the record?
please.
There's a new Attorney General opinion out which says that before you take final action
on a contract at least, and I think it's gonna apply to everything, you have to explain all the relevant provisions of each document, even if it's a 150-page long engineering contract. That's under legal review right now by the Circuit Court of Sangamon County. But anyways, this is this motion, if passed, would allow the town of Freeport to give the notice as required by paragraph I2, of the intergovernmental agreement between the town and the Veterans Assistance Commission of Stevenson County dated November 15, 2012, to purchase the building in which we are now sitting. As a result of this would would require the VAC to, within 6 months, tender to the town an amount equal to 1/2 of the fair market value of the building, plus any adjustments as described in that section. In exchange for that payment, the town would then issue and give to the VAC a quitclaim deed by which the town would transfer any interest it has in the building to the VAC, so that the VAC afterwards would be the sole owner of this building. Again,
Michael, do you have a copy of that agreement that you're reading from? Because I don't think we ever got that.
okay, I do. I can make photocopies for the trust, for the board, not a problem. This agreement is dated November 15th, 2012. It was amended, I believe, on May 9th, 2013, but the amendment didn't have anything to do with the termination provision.
Because I'd like to look at the termination provision.
Do you want the entire agreement?
Just the
or
termination provision.
Give that to you right now. Anyone else want a copy? I'll make one.
Mike, you have to use the old machine because we don't have a code for the new one.
Let me do it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Didn't know that.
Michael, the only other question is, that agreement was signed by the boards,
Yes.
so all of our names are on that contract as well as the officers from the commission.
No, I don't think all of you signed it. I think just the township supervisor, Ms. Hooper, signed it.
Okay, so it was signed by,
Sheila Hooper on November 5th, 2012.
and the
Okay.
VAC was signed by,
Gary Eisenhower, November 15th, 2012. That's why I said November 15th.
okay. So there were no board signatures on that?
No, there never are, in my experience, in 30-some years. Board never signs contracts.
And yet Gary is a board member and Myrna didn't sign this?
It's signed only by Ms. Eisenhower.
So,
He's, as I believe he was the president at the time. It says title, but it's not filled in.
okay, I was just questioning
no
why it
problem.
wasn't signed
No.
between Sheila and Myrna versus Sheila and Gary.
The board, it's the board's choice. If they want to authorize the executive director to sign it, they could. If they want to have their president or chairman sign it, or chairperson, it's up to them. And I don't know why, I wasn't around then.
Okay. Any more discussion?
Just, my comment is that at this point that I think this is just gonna open up a can of worms, and I'm concerned that it's gonna cost us in the long run more money than we're paying now, because we're opening ourselves up for other things to happen. That's just my opinion.
Like I said in executive session, it should have never come to this. I didn't vote for this when it was the last administration because I didn't think it was the thing to do. Township was running short of money back then, and we're going down the same road again. And I'm really upset that we're put in this situation, that this board has to make this decision tonight. I definitely don't have anything against veterans or the VAC, and I want you to know that. My only feeling now is we're paying an attorney to tell us what we should be doing, and I have to go along with the attorney.
And I have to agree with Nikki. I feel bad that we have to, you know, me being a new board member, have to come into this, you know, because there's so many other things that we as township could be doing, especially when I get those magazines and I see the things that they do for kids and stuff like that. And we're putting money into, you know, this. And me also, I have nothing against veterans. I think I have the most respect for them. I thank God for them because they have given us the opportunity to live free. But we have to do what we have to do to, because this is what I was elected for, to do what we have to do for township. So I agree also.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Martin,
No.
Altensee,
Aye.
Sellers,
Aye.
Martin,
Oh.
I'm sorry, Bender, Bender.
Aye.
Sellers,
Aye.
motion passed. Okay, now let's just adjourn.
No, we have to sign this.
Okay.
And, that's what.
Jeremy?
There you go.
Everything has been signed.
Okay, you need copies. And then we copy. Is that code select?
Yes.
Okay.
If you want to,
Let's talk, Doc. Let's talk.
About, I just
Everything.
think this should have been done a long time ago. It shouldn't have taken, you know, going to court to get to this point. I think we could have gotten to this point without going to court.
I think the amount of money we've spent is ridiculous. Like,
On both ways.
Yeah.
oh yeah, I'm sure they've spent money also, but I'm sure they don't have any more than we've got.
But I'd also agree with you, or Cindy said it, the whole thing should have been looked into before we got to this. You know, I think, you know, what we do now as a board, and the questions and the notes and the whatever that we do, we ask so many questions now, and I can't understand why these questions, or why this, why the previous board did not ask these questions or dig deeper into
They did.
this.
One
before-
did.
Oh, before it got to this, you know, and I really do, I feel bad for everybody, because, you know, now it feels like, you know, there's a, you know, a little uneasiness, but, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do, you know, so I really do, I really feel bad that I even had to be a part of this. I wish I could have been a part of something more joyful, since my name is Joy.
Well, and we're also spending $10,000 a year for Cindy's office to be in
Right.
another building,
Which-
which she should have been in the township building all the time.
And it's more than
That should-
$10,000 if you really look at, we're paying $10,000 in just the rent. But then you look at all the other things that, you know, which,
Well,
sharing.
the thing about it is, this was brought to the board for a board decision, not a Patrick Sellers decision. I cannot make a decision to end any agreements or to go into litigation, to come out of litigation. I don't have that power. Collectively, we do. That's why it was brought to the board. So,
Well, I think we talked about maybe still you getting together and
Mhm.
talking this over again.
Yep.
Doesn't mean this has to happen.
no,
You can sit down and still
yes.
talk to Gary and
Mhm.
Marna.
Yep.
And we hope that happens.
I do too.
Okay, do we adjourn?
Do we adjourn?
Yeah, you have the motion,
All right.
second.
Need a motion for adjournment, motion and a second.
I make a motion that we adjourn it.
I second.
Motion by Sellers, second by
That's because you
Altman.
want to get back to work. I'll leave you working.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
This is
Me
ours,
again,
right, the
John.
little purple?
Yes, yes.